Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Greider. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Excited to be connecting in with you. And I can't believe we are already just over halfway through December. My goodness. This month has been going so quickly. I don't know if all of you have been experiencing that, but it feels like to me there's this acceleration. Things are moving a little bit faster. And even with the holidays coming and we're in the midst of some of them, I'm just feeling this quickening of pace. And so I want to take a moment and just take a breath with all of you. Let's take a breath. And take a moment just to mindfully, purposely slow down just a little bit. And I want to encourage you that this time is for you. And today we have an amazing expert. I know you're going to love her. She has so much information and wisdom that she's going to be sharing with us about how to really put the heart and the magic back into our business and our financial planning. And this is a perfect time of year to be reminded of these things. As we are looking ahead at 2021 and beyond, what are the things that we are doing now? Are we still loving our business? Are we understanding where it's at? Is it going where we want it to go? It's great to periodically check in and see. And so I'm very excited, especially this time of year as the end of the year is coming. We're starting to look ahead at the new year to bring in an expert to really support us as business owners to be mindful to, even with the pace of things accelerating, that we're paying attention to those things that are going to help us build what we're trying to build and go where we want it to go. And as an owner, that the business is really doing and being what you want it to be and do, and that you're looking at those things that can help you make good decisions and really move things in the direction that you want them to go, no matter what. Even when we have a year like we have had that has affected the world and it's affected things so dramatically, it's so important that we're really paying attention to the numbers, that we're consciously, purposely looking at information that can help us make good decisions and move in a powerful, positive direction. And I want you to have an amazing end of the year. I want you to have a powerful beginning of 2021. So I'm very excited to have an expert to come alongside us that can pour into us at this important time of year. So for all of you who are tuning in, I want to encourage you to be open to receive. There is something here for you by the very nature that you are tuning in. So I encourage you to be still, to have your notepad ready so you can capture those ahas or that moment or something to look at and not forget it, because it's so easy to move on to the next shiny thing or the next thing that wants our attention. And I want to make sure you're capturing the information here that can support you. So have your notepad ready, have your pen ready, and be ready to receive. I encourage you to be fully present. You don't need to run off and do anything right now. This is your time just for you to be poured into, to support you to live in an empowered way, and even having your business become and be empowered and supporting you. So as we take a moment to breathe and just take that in, I'm focusing on breathing. So easy to have, and with the acceleration, that we forget to breathe deeply. We're taking shallow breaths. We're moving so fast that our cortisol levels get raised. So by purposely, mindfully slowing down, taking those deep breaths, it brings oxygen to every cell in our body. I hope you're breathing right now deeply. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So it brings that oxygen throughout our body. It helps slow us down and lower our stress levels, our cortisol levels, which means we have space that we can receive. It gives us clearer thinking, ears that can hear, all by slowing down and breathing for just a moment. And with that, in that space, I want to go ahead and encourage you to put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing you all in, mind, body, soul, and spirit, especially when we're talking about numbers and finance. We need to bring the heart in and bring all of us in. So as you're doing that, go ahead and close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. And breathe for a moment. And in this space, as you're breathing and listening to your heartbeat, what is it that you need? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, inspire you, uplift you, especially when we're looking at numbers and business planning and finance? What do you need? Just see. Receive that information. And I'm going to add to this that you are willing to receive because you have choice. So what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Not attached to how. We're not dealing with how right now. We're just identifying what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Great. Go ahead and receive that information. Come back into the room. Fully present. Beautiful. And I'm going to go around the room and bring in our amazing guest and just see when she took a moment to stop, pause, and listen what was laid on her heart. So Debbie, I'd love for you to share what was laid on your heart.
When I took time to stop, pause, and listen, it's for all the things I appreciate that have happened this year in spite of the pandemic. I've been married for 25 years. That's a great success story, right? Mm-hmm. And that happened this year. It was my 25th wedding anniversary. I published a book this year. It's been a lifelong dream for me to publish a book. So like many people, my year didn't happen or end the way that I thought it would, but so many good things happened along the way. And I discovered so many amazing things about myself, and I appreciate what I learned this year.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that. And congratulations on 25 years. I celebrate that with you. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I love this reminder of, even though the year unfolded differently than most of us had expected it to unfold, that there's still so many things to be appreciating and thankful for and to celebrate. Really important reminder. And as we get ready to go to our first commercial break, I want to encourage our listeners today to really reflect on and think about what are things that you do appreciate, that when you reflect on the year, that you are thankful for, that did come forward, even though the year may have unfolded differently than anticipated or expected. What are you appreciating? What are you thankful for? And take these next 2 minutes to really sink into that, feel into that, and see. And when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation. So we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained. Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel. Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective, plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes to really see what you are appreciating. What are you thankful for as you look back on the year, and maybe things that you learned or discovered about yourself. Perhaps things that you were able to bring forward. One of the terms we've heard so much this year, at least in the U.S., I'm not sure if this has been used internationally as much, but the word pivot. And so many people, it got to the point where people sometimes roll their eyes when they hear it now. But this concept of pivoting, of having to shift and move in a new direction with what was happening with the pandemic and all that unfolded from that, kind of the ripple effect from that. And many businesses are still in that situation where they're pivoting or they're shifting in light of the pandemic, or just in light of what 2020 has brought to all of us. And so I love that we started the conversation with appreciating and taking a moment to really reflect on the year. And I'm really excited to more formally introduce our amazing guest and share a little bit of her experience and her background, and have her share with us from her rich, vast areas of expertise around business, and really empower and uplift us. So let me share. Debbie Corey is the owner and CEO of AccuMaxim, as a forward thinker, a strategic CFO. So her company, I was jumping around there. So let me reemphasize, she's a forward thinker, which I love about her. She is the owner and CEO of AccuMaxim. Did I pronounce that correctly, Debbie? Or can you help me?
You did. Great job.
Good. Yay, thank you. Which is a strategic CFO company dedicated to helping business owners improve cash flow, increase profits, and scale their businesses. She is a financial professional with over 30 years of experience, an international best-selling author. She is the owner of multiple businesses, has a bachelor's degree in business administration, is a CPA and speaker, and I would say also a frequent subject expert that people go to be on boards to support in different ways. And she is passionate about putting the heart back into finance and the numbers. So please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful, heart-centered, and brilliant Debbie Corey to the show. Welcome.
Thank you for such a wonderful introduction, Rebecca. I have a huge smile on my face. That was amazing.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad. I love it when we can bring a smile to each other's faces. I'm thrilled to have you joining us. And I know finances and numbers are sometimes not everyone's favorite subject. And yet I find it's something people really do want to talk about. They really want to understand. They want to be empowered in this area. I just think sometimes they don't know where to start or who to go to. And so I'm thrilled that you are someone they can go to, that you are stepping forward to really take a stand for businesses and to help them in this area and demystify some of the numbers. So I celebrate the work that you do, you being here, and wanted to see why, though. Why is this work of putting the heart back into finances, kind of what that means, and why is that work personally so important to you?
Well, it's personally so important to me because of my grandfather. He was a vet in World War II. He served in the Navy, was a cook on a ship, got out, and he apprenticed as a plumber. And he, like most young men of his time, saw an opportunity and decided he wanted to run his own business, his own plumbing business. And so he hired a couple guys and ran his own business until he was 62 years old. And then he decided it was time to retire. And my grandfather, when he went to retire, he owned a cottage on the lake, he owned his own house, and he owned his shop. He had done very well for himself. And he was 62. He said, I'm going to retire. Well, here was my grandfather's retirement plan. Unbeknownst to us, he thought he'd be dead in a couple years. And if you're a young person listening to the show, you're like, what do you mean? People live to be 80 or so. Well, when my grandfather grew up during the Depression, men would retire and they would die a couple years later. So my grandfather thought that he would live on Social Security for a couple years and then be dead. The only problem with that was Social Security is based on your income. And my grandfather rarely reported his income, filed tax returns, and when he did file a tax return, it was at a loss, which meant the money he was counting on was minuscule for his retirement. So by the time my grandfather passed away, he was 82 years old and had lost everything he had worked for his entire life. He was actually a ward of the state when he died on Medicaid. And to see this big, strong, powerful man who had worked his whole life end up this way was just awful. And that's why I do what I do, because it's important to me to help business owners not only understand where they are today, but to understand where they're going to be in the future and what their future lives are going to be like.
Thank you for sharing. And I think there are many of our listeners today that are starting to look ahead and retirement, and what is that going to look like and feel like as a business owner? What do I have in place? And I'm curious about this, Debbie, too, a transition plan, because I find many business owners have created a business they love, they're building, it's doing well, and their vision is that someday their family will take over, but their family may not have the same vision. Do you find that's the case sometimes?
I do find that happens sometimes, and there's lots of ways to transition a business and keep it alive, for your legacy. And one of the ways is if a family member doesn't do it, sometimes a member of your management team will want to buy it out. And you can do a sale to one of the managers, a gradual sale. Here in St. Louis, one of the construction companies, Holland Construction, did that. The owner actually sold the company to the management team over a period of, I believe it was 10 years, and that transition worked really well. Another thing business owners do is create what's called an ESOP, or an employee stock plan, where the employees actually own the company and the owner can still draw income from that company. Nice. Another option is they choose, somebody to manage the company for them, and they continue to be maybe the chair or the head of the company, but they're not in the day-to-day operations anymore. There's so many ways that you can continue either to draw an income from your business or exit the business and still keep that business and legacy in place.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, because I was just, as I'm thinking of the story that you shared about your grandfather, and not, he didn't have you to consult with and know about different kinds of options and transition plans and all that kind of stuff. And it takes so much to start, launch, create a business and get it to a certain level. And I love that there are different things that business owners can consider as they're looking ahead. Um, and looking to perhaps transition out at some point, or transition into a new way of interacting with their business. But I don't want to get the cart before the horse. I just I appreciate you sharing some of that information, because I also want to support businesses right now that are in a place where they are growing. They're trying to understand the numbers. This has been a very unusual year for many, many businesses. And so I'd love for you to share, is there something that they can do right now to help, as the year's coming to a close, some things that they want to be thinking about?
Absolutely. First of all, you have to look at your numbers. And I know some of the listeners right now might be like holding their fingers over their eyes and saying, no, I don't want to look and see what's going on. But good, bad, or indifferent, you have to know where you are today before you can move forward with a plan of where you're going to get to be tomorrow. So you got to know where your starting point is. So once you know where you are, get somebody to help you. You know, numbers are really complicated. And as a business owner, we want you to be able to understand your financial statements, but we don't want you to be an accountant or bookkeeper. And one of the first things I always advise business owners to do is to get an accounting professional on their team. It doesn't have to be a full-time professional. Maybe it's a part-time bookkeeper, or maybe it's an accountant that you hire out. But get somebody that understands how to record your transactions, so when you look at a financial statement, you know your numbers are right. And that's probably one of the most important things for business owners when they review their numbers, is knowing that those numbers are right, that they can count on them to make decisions.
Really, really important, because I know sometimes it can change so dramatically from what you think it is to when everything gets put into the mix. It can be very different. And so I love that, having support that can really help you know what the numbers are. Do you have a recommendation of how frequently the numbers should be looked at? Or are there different types of numbers that should be looked at different times?
Yes, so I recommend that at a minimum, you look at your numbers at least once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on your business and what you do, there are ways to look at your numbers weekly to make sure that things are happening with your team. When you get to be a bigger company, it's always good to look at them weekly.
Mm-hmm.
But once a month at a minimum, you need to look at the statements and make sure that your books are closed by a professional. That's really important. And
Okay.
you want to, after you look at those numbers, you want to go through them and see, it's like a story, like when you're reading a book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your numbers have chapters to them, and you want to make sure that you understand the chapters and what happened. So a lot of business owners will look at the profit and loss statement and go right to the bottom line, and as long as it's positive, they're like, yes, right? Everything
Mm-hmm.
went great. But you're missing half the story, because you want to look and see how many sales you had for the month, and how many discounts and returns did you do? Is there room for improvement? How much did it cost to make your product? Can you get some more leverage out of that? And then what are those fixed costs that you have going on in your business, like your payroll and your rent, maybe computer and IT costs? When's the last time you looked at those to review what's going on in those categories? You know, as businesses scale, a lot of times they forget, they upgrade things and forget to cancel the things they had been doing before. It's very common because businesses are moving so fast when they're scaling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you're still using all the things that you're paying for.
Yep. Yep. Great. Oh, this is really, really helpful. So I hope everybody heard that at least monthly, looking at the numbers. And I love that example of it's a story, and you don't want to miss the important things in the chapters that can help you fine tune things, or perhaps that isn't needed anymore, or moving in the right direction and making good decisions, and where can things be improved or streamlined. So Really, really important information, and getting support to have those numbers pulled together for you in an accurate way, so you really can tell where you're at. So thank you. This is really, really great information for now and going forward. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about your book, because you were led to bring information to really support businesses and help them get control of their business and create a healthy business to move forward in powerful ways. Would you share a little bit of the title of your book, the full title, and where we can find your book?
Sure. So the full title of my book is Loving Failure, Getting Control of Your Business Health. And I've had people say, why did you title it like that? And I said, nobody wants to talk about numbers, so I wanted to get people's attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't create a successful business without looking at your finances monthly and understanding what's going on in your business. And so that, was kind of a play on words. But it's available on Amazon.com. And all you have to do is type in the title. And again, it's Loving Failure, Getting Control of Your Business Health. And it's all about helping customers look at their businesses differently, whether they're a new business or an established business, and understanding that numbers don't have to be scary. They can really be used to leverage your business and get some great results for you and your employees.
Thank you. Because I do think so often we can shy away from the numbers and understanding the story and get focused on other things. And I love how, as I hear you sharing about understanding it, it doesn't feel as scary. You're making it safer for all of us to go in and really understand the story that those numbers are telling us, so that we can grow our business. We can move our business in a direction. And one of the terms that you used was scaling your business. And I'd love for you to explain a little bit of what that means, because we may have some listeners that that's a new term for them.
So scaling your business is, I learned a long time ago from a mentor, if you're not growing your business, it's dying. And that doesn't mean that you have to grow your company from a $500,000 company to a $1 billion company. What it means is you're constantly looking for changes in your market and making sure you're keeping up for the time. So, if you're happy at $2 million, that's all good. But what you're doing today to sell $2 million is not going to be the same thing that you're doing 10 years from now to sell $2 million. Think about the printing industry and how much that has changed in the past 30 years, right? We used to get all these brochures and things, and now everything's gone digital. So, technology has had a huge impact on people in their business. And, the pandemic has had a huge impact on how we'll do business. There'll be a lot of people that won't meet in person anymore. Now that they're used to Zoom and doing phone calls, there'll be a lot of business done that way. So there'll be some good things that come out of the pandemic that'll help us be more efficient and change the way we think and do things.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. But really paying attention to what's going on around us, so that we are growing our business, that we are paying attention, that we're looking ahead at where things are at and where things are going is really, really, really important. And your book it's so good. It's so powerful. I want to just let everybody know, just a reminder, you can find it on Amazon. Loving Failure. You can also find it looking it up by Debbie's name as well to find this powerful book and add it to your library. And for those business owners out there, I just really encourage you to take a look and add a copy of this powerful book to your library and resources. And Debbie, I love this. I hadn't ever heard anyone in the financial world talk about the story that the numbers are telling you, and you don't want to miss important chapters in that story to help make decisions. And I love books, so that just resonates with me on so many levels. So I think that's a really powerful takeaway that, at least for me, that we can have and shift and then approach our numbers maybe with a curiosity of, what are they telling me? What can I learn about my business based on what these numbers are telling us? And I think that's brilliant. As we go to our next next commercial break, I want to encourage you to take these next 2 minutes and really, when was the last time you looked at your numbers? And did you really understand what the numbers were telling you? Or were there some question marks? And this isn't with judgment. This is with curiosity. And what are they telling me? What more would I like to understand so that I can move my business where I want to move it? So take these next 2 minutes and think about that. And when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with the amazing Debbie.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall-Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and got curious and really put down some of your questions, some of the things you're wondering the last time you looked at your numbers, and where was there some information that you weren't quite sure what it meant or how it works, or perhaps it's been a long time since you've looked at the numbers. So I want to encourage you to be curious, and what are some things you would love the numbers to be able to tell you in your story and the story of your business. And those are great things to work with your accountant on, to be able to, or bookkeeper, to be able to have that information so that you can make those decisions that you're wanting to make. And behind the scenes, Debbie and I were having an exciting conversation about growth in business. And so I wanted to jump right there so that while it's fresh in her mind, we're able to share some of this information. But she had a really important share around how to grow your business, a growth tip and an employee empowerment tip. And so I just want to hand the floor over. Debbie, please share.
Yeah, I think one of the things, especially when your business is scaling, as a business owner, you start off and you're in charge of everything, right? And as you scale, you have to have the ability to let go and to delegate. And it's really scary because as the owner, when you first started, you knew how everything worked and operated. But on the other side of this is empowerment. And let me talk more about that. When you share numbers with your employees, it empowers them to do a great job for you because employees want to work at a successful company. Now, I'm not advocating open book management. What I'm saying is every department or every employee has one or two metrics that you can tell them, here's how I want you to perform. So, for example, operations, one of the important metrics for like the warehouse and shipping and receiving would be making sure that packages arrived on time and that they depart on time, right? Mm-hmm. So you'd want to track those two numbers and make sure that those numbers are working right. Or maybe in your operations department, safety is a huge concern and something that needs to be improved. And you've got some safety metrics that the team needs to work on. Whatever those things are that contribute to the bottom line. An amazing thing happens when you empower your employees with numbers. I call it giving them a scorecard and allowing them to play the game. When they understand the 2 or 3 things that they do personally to contribute to the success of the company, they want to play harder. They want to help you be successful. And when you show employees this, they have much better job satisfaction, and they'll come to you with their ideas and things that they see you can improve as a company. It's really an amazing dynamic. And one of the reasons people say I put heart in the business is behind every number is an employee, and behind every employee is a number. They are intricately tied. You spend a lot of money on payroll and you have a lot of investments in training in your employees. Allow them to help you be successful.
Mm. Well, and I'm even sitting here as that is sinking in and the information that you're sharing about having them involved on that level and really understanding, because sometimes I hear employees wonder if what they do makes a difference. And to be able to know that it, to be able to know that it does, and it matters that that package is on time and it affects the entire business and it makes a difference, and that they can bring, and they're on the front lines in what they do. So they're going to have insight that someone who isn't on the front lines doing what they do day in and day out wouldn't have to be able to improve. And so to create that opening, that conversation between them and you and where you're going with a business is so powerful. It's exciting. I can see, I mean, to me, it makes complete sense why the employees then are performing stronger and have more excitement about what they're doing and improvements they can bring forward because they see the connection too. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Anything you want to add to that?
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I would add, tie it to some kind of result for them, something that they get to earn. So, are they going to earn time off? Is there a small bonus attached to it? There has to be something in it for the employee too. It's not just pride. There's a lot of complaints. I have to say this. I'm going to get on my soapbox for just a minute if you'll allow me to, Rebecca.
Okay. Yep.
There's a lot of complaints about millennials, and I got to tell you, they've got it right. Your business depends on hiring millennials and understanding how they go about business and do things, because they have figured out what the boomers couldn't do, which is how to balance business and life. And they have so many technical skills that can be used in your business, and they have a world view. They want to see the whole world and how they plug into your business. They are incredibly powerful to get you to the next level. So I want you to take a minute and think about that. And remember that every generation, if you listen to 2 generations above, said that you were lazy when you were young. Studies have shown it over and over again. So it started back in BC with the Romans complaining about their young people. And there's been studies that have shown that every generation complains about the generation below them because we learn and work differently. And so, take things, learn to laugh and take things easier and not be so serious when you're communicating with your employees. You've got to have some fun.
I love it. I love it. I was in a group recently with a number of business owners and all different types of businesses. And we were talking about incentive programs and brainstorming on different ideas. And at one point, it dawned on us, we were all looking at just numbers and financial types of incentives. And we started to get curious about what are other things that motivate people, because it's not just always numbers. I mean, you want to look at the numbers, you want to have financial things that people can earn. But I was thinking about, there was a dentist office that I used to go to, and if they hit certain numbers every year, they would fly together to go to Hawaii and have a trip with their families and the whole group there. And they looked forward to that. And they were all building towards that. And sometimes it's recognition. So I'm just curious, in your work with companies, what have you found around incentive programs or programs that you're getting people involved? They have some skin in the game and there's something in it for them. Is it sometimes a combination of, like you were saying, a small bonus, something they could earn? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it could be a small bonus. It might be a profit, a contribution to the profit sharing plan. Sometimes it's time off. They want more time off. They want to be able to have more vacation or spend more time with their family or their partner. Other times, if it's a short initiative you're doing, it could be something as fun as a Visa gift card or an Amazon card or something short-term like that. We've used attendance bonuses that had gift cards like that when we were having trouble getting employees engaged. All kinds of different things. The important thing is to ask the employees what they're interested in. Take a poll and see what's going to motivate them, because everybody's different. Yep.
I love that. And that was kind of the conclusion we had come to in the group. Maybe we should ask what they want instead of assuming or trying to figure it out without including them in the conversation. So I thank you.
and I think that's really important. There's so much value including your employees in the conversation. And when you start to get employees and grow your team, it's hard to remember sometimes that when you involve them, it takes the weight off of you. You don't have to come up with all the ideas and the implementation. Your team will do that for you. You're just focused on the top level. Where is the company going and where do you want to get it to? And that's the fun stuff, not the day-to-day grind.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I was thinking we're in mid-December. My goodness, the year this month, the last couple of months actually have gone very, very quickly, at least for me, I have found. And I'm curious, as you are thinking about things, I know that you recently sent out a top 10 list that I got all excited about. And I told you I'm so excited about this list that you gave. I thought it was great. And I wanted to see if there were just a couple of things on that list that you want to share and encourage business owners to be thinking about at this time of the year.
Yeah, there's a couple key things on there. First of all, it's not too late to call your tax accountant and find out what deductions you can get before the end of the year. Not everything has to be done by December 31st. Mm-hmm. There are some things that if they're completed by first quarter, you can still take as deductions. So make sure you talk to your tax accountant sometime in the next 2 weeks. I wouldn't recommend the 31st. Get a phone call in and make sure that you guys are talking about what you can do to prepare for tax season. Okay. And then secondly, do a strategic plan for 2021. Now, if people are rolling their eyes right now, I am not talking about a 50-page document. You can do a one-page strategic plan that's very simple that says, here's my goal for 2021 and what I want to accomplish. Here's the rocks or the things that I need to get out of the way. Here's, the team members and how they're going to help. And then the most important thing to do is to share this plan with your team. You're not an island, and your team wants to, like I said, help the company succeed. And they may have some great ideas to share with you about how to get you to where you want to go. So make sure to always include your team and tell them what the goals are for the coming year. And then I think the other thing that's really scary for people, so I'm going to talk about it, is figure out what your price increase is for 2021. Price increases should be done to clients every year because you get a price increase every year. Your employees' wages go up, your vendor costs go up, your software goes up. So, if you do a mild price increase of maybe 3 to 4%, your clients aren't going to notice that much. But if you don't do a price increase for 4 or 5 years, and then you have to do a price correction that's 20% or 15%, you lose customers. So make yourself a promise that you'll look at what your pricing looks like and do a small increase for 2021. It really can have a positive impact on your bottom line. And then have a meeting with your success team or your advisors. And so that would be your business lawyer, your accountant, your tax person, your wealth manager, or your financial planner. And then you also want to include your banker, your insurance broker, and I'm going to say your strategic CFO, of course, Rebecca. You want to get them all together once a year and talk about what your goals are for the coming year, because your advisors are there to help you, and they will tell you about risks and opportunities and help you accomplish those goals. If you call, it would save you so much time if you just get them together for an hour in the same room so they can share ideas back and forth. Think about the times in the past you called your lawyer, and then you have to call the accountant, and then you have to go back to the lawyer, and then you're talking to your wealth manager. How much time did you waste? But if you get them all together at the beginning of the year in one room and talk about what you want to do, they want to help you be successful. They'll share your ideas so you can make decisions about what direction to go. It's very powerful.
Oh,
and
so
then lastly,
good. Yes.
Lastly, I want you to make a list of all your accomplishments for 2020. Because sometimes we're so busy in our businesses, we forget to celebrate our wins. And I want you to take the time to appreciate what you've accomplished this year. And please, please share it with your employees and share your appreciation with them, because they're an integral part of your business and they want to be recognized. It's very important to recognize them. Take the time to just take a breath. I loved how you started the radio program today. I think that's so important. Make that list and let yourself enjoy those accomplishments.
Thank you so much for your wisdom, your insight, putting the heart in the business and in the numbers. I feel that you just do that at every place, helping us see how it connects and how powerful that is. I love the success team. I love putting that together. I think that's brilliant and can support us so powerfully. And that quick reminder, don't wait till the 31st, but right now is a great time to call your tax advisor and just be aware of any sort of deductions that you might want to be able to put into these final days as you're bringing the books to a close. So make sure that you're doing those things and you're taking advantage of this window of time, because you don't want to be starting and filing taxes and doing all of that saying, wish you would have known. So I love that reminder to be proactive, forward thinking, and to have those conversations. And then also building as we look ahead at the new year, that you're bringing some of those powerful people to the stage that can help you and get them all in the same room, same hour, and be able to make decisions instead of this. And then you check with that one, and then you have to go check with this one and pull that number for this one. Get them all together so that you can move forward. I just think that's great, great advice. We are getting ready. Actually, I'm going to normally we do a commercial break at this moment, but instead, I'm going to keep moving forward because I want to give everyone, while we're in this moment and time, you've shared these great tips. I want to give everyone just a moment to digest them, write a couple of action steps that you're going to take, and let's just take a moment to do that. So hopefully that quick minute instead of our normal amount of time for the commercial break gave you an opportunity to write down some of those quick thoughts of actions that you want to take, steps that you want to do to take advantage of this wonderful insight and information that Debbie has shared with us. Great tips, great ideas of how to involve employees and tap into their wisdom, your success team, being able to move forward and all of those things. Again, I do encourage you to go on Amazon and get her amazing book to support you. Add that to your library. And with that, I would love for people to be able to connect with you, Debbie. What is the best way for people to connect with you and go deeper?
Yes, they could contact me at my email address. It is Debbie, DEBI, at Acumaxum, ACUMAXUM.com, or they can call at 314-476-4200.
Perfect. And do you mind repeating it just one more time? I want to make sure everyone has your site.
Sure. They can email me at Debbie, DEBI, at Acumaxum, ACUMAXUM.com, or they can call me at 314-476-4200. My website is under construction and should go live. I'm hoping next week. We're almost done.
Okay, that's exciting. You can watch the unveiling. And when it goes live, what will it be? Do you mind sharing when it goes live?
It'll be Acumaxum.com. So that should be next week, early next week.
Okay, perfect. So that'll be your New Year's gift and celebration is bringing that forward.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Oh, very, very cool. Well, we're excited for you. Celebrate that. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing so much amazing information, tips, mindset shifts, and how we're looking at things today. Really appreciate that. And any final quick tip that is on your heart you want to share with our listeners today?
Yes. Don't be afraid to make decisions. I know this is a scary time, and in election years, everybody gets a little freaked out. I'm going to say freaked out because we do, right? And then we had a pandemic. But if you continue to make decisions, it will help you put your business together, because if it's a good decision or it's a decision you're not happy with the results, it's okay, because you know the end to that decision story, and you can make the next one. The worst thing you can do is leave yourself like a car in neutral right now. You need to be proactive and make decisions about how you're going to move forward in your business. You'll get through this if you're struggling. If there's a light on the other side. So just keep trucking. Keep moving along.
Thank you. So important. So stay in motion, moving forward, making the best decisions you can make, but don't stay stuck in neutral. Great, great tip. And Debbie, thank you for joining us today. I so appreciate it. And I know it's a busy time of year, so thank you. And listeners, I want to thank you for joining us as well. I hope that this has been supportive and empowering for you. I've taken some great notes of things that I'm going to be looking at and stepping forward in and looking at bringing into our company and what we're doing. So I hope it has been helpful and supportive to you as well. And as we get ready to step back out into the world, I encourage you to take a couple minutes at the end of the show and just let some of this information sink in. Don't resist the urge to just rush off. Take a couple minutes for you. Really choose one or two things that you're going to take action on and then move forward in action. And remember that you are absolutely needed in this world, needed in the business that you are called to be in. Be willing to share the gift of who you are. Be willing to share your gifts and your talents and your business out in the world, because I believe it was made for such a time as this. So be willing to share and shine. We'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Greiter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.